Hello there, ladies, gentlemen, and unicorns. Look at this. I'm super overexposed. Thank you so much for sticking with me on this dire day in which I tried to get my stream up to speed. You know what the issue was? Me neither. I restarted like 3 times or 4 times. I uninstalled all my audio drivers, all my video webcam drivers, which wasn't easy to find. But yeah, in the end, what worked for me was, I don't know. I with every restart, I installed, uninstalled, restarted, plugged it in, tried it, and now apparently it works. So please let me know if there are any audio dropouts, because if there are, I probably can't do much about it. Okay, so the camera should be fine. There's my good friend Nick here, and yeah, there's a little story involved. So congratulations also Lady Mistleaf on winning the pop quiz again, and I think by now you should know most of the questions at least. And Let's Big Snack is also here. Thank you so much. And Frank, you accepted to get paid in exposure. Wait, let me find what was it? Oh, thank you for wishing me happy birthday. Thank you so much. It was this Monday. So yeah, I'm finally 1 year older, and I don't feel anymore. I already feel quite old, at least today, because of all this thing that's going on. So also, is it so bright? I can see your strap on your head. Yeah, it's my unicorn head. And Frank subscribed. Thank you so much for this wonderful birthday present of subscribing. You know what? We need music. Is this too loud? Is this too loud for the background music? I hope not. Thank you so much for dropping by on my belated birthday stream. And Let's Big Snack says, Alles Gute, Phil. Thank you so much. And wish you more you know what? Thanks, Inken Imbula. I should have made me some coffee, because all I got is water, and I was... Yeah, I'm a bit disheveled right now, because I was trying for, 1 hour or so to get this stream up and running, but finally managed to. So it's really appreciated that you all were so patient and stood by as I was trying to get... I should stop with these, but it's just, yeah. Again, thank you so much for dropping by. Okay, so I really didn't want to have another stream that just was, yeah, like with last week, where I had this headache. And I thought I couldn't miss another stream, because I missed you. I missed every one of you. So great, now my voice is gone. And Ink DO21 says happy birthday, and please tell me you had the birthday hat on the whole time you were troubleshooting. In fact, I did. In fact, I did. I almost forgot about it. Now that I saw myself now on the stream, I realized that, oh, it's too bright, and I still got the hat on. Yeah, so probably... Yeah, this probably will leave a mark here. You can almost see that it's... Yes, I had the birthday hat on all the time, because of course I wanted to get ready for the stream, suited up, and wanted to do my test runs, and I did my test runs. Good thing I did my test runs, and no audio on the microphone. It just wasn't there anymore. Restart, uninstall, restart. Finally changed a lot of settings. Finally it worked again, and then I plugged in the webcam and it did not work. So yeah, just to spare you a long story, it works now. I don't know what happened. I didn't change my setup one bit. Maybe I think that's the problem. Usually every other month or so I do a complete reset of my system from a image, of course, where all my systems and programs and everything is already set up. But yeah, just do the update and then make a clean image of that one. This is how I usually roll, and maybe I should do this again. But yeah, what's in store for us today? Well, I thought I have some cake, which I don't have at the time, and maybe some coffee, which I forgot to have run through the coffee maker at first. So, but the other thing that I wanted to do all week is do a little pixel art, just some chill, nice, relaxing pixel art for a little project that I had the idea to. The other project, of course, that I've been working on was the Postmortem, and still is the Ludum Dare Postmortem. But I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not working on the Postmortem, which is sad, because I really want to finish the thing that I'm working on. But then again, spoilers, so I'm not going to spoil anything. But as always, I'm kind of stressed out, and I thought maybe I should do just some very chill pixel art that's not to be used in any of my projects, because as soon as I put something in my projects or I know that I will use it somewhere, it's pressure. So now I thought just some very chillaxing, is this a word nowadays, just some chillaxing time. What's the book on the keyboard? You mean this one here? And Rather Jolly says, sorry to hear about the technical headaches. Feel excited you were able to sort it out. Yes, thank you, Rather Jolly, because you probably recognize good old Nick here, which was, thank you so much, a present that I received from you, and it was not all of the presents that I received from you, so I really had a great time with it. Thank you so much for the card, and the Tetris stickers that I received are there in my bookshelves, and I'm looking very much forward to vandalizing property with Tetris blocks. And yeah, I have a special place for the inflatable unicorn head balloon, so it's very much appreciated. I had just this big old stupid grin on my face the entire time as I sorted through the bag of goodies, so thank you so much. Maybe I should put that on as well. And yeah, now that's super weird. That's super weird. So back on Ashley. Ashley is now a Nick Cage fan. And yeah, the big book is not a book, it's just an old adventure game that I adored back in the day when it came with my first CD-ROM drive. I already have posted a photo of my first computer on Twitter this week, and yeah, this was the game that came with it. And the sad truth about it, I couldn't run it. It had an QuickTime error because of some early Macromedia Director incompatibilities, and I was never able to play this game until like 10 years or so, when I realized that there was a remastered version from the late 90s. And yeah, I played this and finally managed to play the Journeyman project, and now it has come up again, and I thought, yeah, maybe I should check it out, and maybe I just had this stupid idea of trying to recreate the first room of this game, because this was pre-rendered, and I tried to make the first room in Maya or Unity and just see how it would look. So essentially, that's it. And Let's Big Snack redeemed unicorn. You're right, unicorn. I said unicorn, so I should have a sip of water because it's fun and healthy to stay hydrated. Cheers. Now this. There we go. By the way, are you doing a birthday stream, not stream? Yeah, I'm doing a birthday stream. Birthday stream. What the hell is a stream? Is it something that you put on a tram? It's like a strat of stairs? No, this doesn't work. I can't think of a funny pun. Damn it! I have failed. Can't think of a funny pun. And Cursey posted the unicorn. Wonderful. Seat on a tram. It's a stram. Wonderful. I caught a stram today. Yeah, that sounds like some sort of disease. I caught stram today. Probably not worth getting into that. Right, about my... Oh no, it's slipping. I probably should have it like this, right? So it would be more of a unicorn party head. Yeah, I look rather... You know what? I look like this weird clown that's on the BioShock vending machines. I've been playing the first 2 BioShocks. Actually, I'm playing all the BioShocks. BioShock 1, BioShock 2, the DLCs for 2, BioShock Infinite, and right now I'm at Burial at Sea Part 1. Right, and for those who played the first BioShock, do you recognize this obnoxious clown on the vending machines? Welcome to the circus of value! Yeah, that one. So this is the first association that I have of myself with a party head. So I probably won't stay on. Right. What a great series, says Rather Jolly. It is. I finally caught up to it, because I probably have said this before in a stream where I was playing the first BioShock. I got it when it got out, and even got this Big Daddy figurine with a tip broken off during a delivery. So yeah, this was bad. But I tried to play it, and couldn't progress after a certain point, but I didn't know how to progress from there. And it was very, very early in the game. I think it was even before meeting Dr. Steinman, so before the first boss. And I really, for a decade or so, I didn't really understand what the fuss was about. This game, why it was so great and so on. So yeah, I finally caught up with the first one and the second one, and now Infinite, and now I'm pretty well versed with all things Bioshock. Well, almost. Still got to play Burial at Sea, which I also like, and I'm getting quite good at shooters, especially if you're playing those back to back. So yeah, I really like those games. And plane, or should I say airplane? Quotation mark. No, it's not. It's a quotation mark. It's an exclamation mark. There we go. Oh, yeah, I was so stressed out for this 1 hour. I'm just rambling. And Ender42 is here. Hey, yeah, thank you so much for dropping by, Ender. Have you tried System Shock? They're making a remake now. I tried the very first System Shock, but I couldn't get out of the door of the very first section. I mean, I could get out of the pod that I was revived in and had this first robot, but then I couldn't progress through the first door, which I think is to get you out of sickbay. Was it not? And I also haven't played the second System Shock, so those I want to play, but the first System Shock is I think something that's a bit too old, especially when it comes to controls. As far as I know, there is a mod out there that makes the controls far easier, but yeah, I've watched a YouTube video on it and I think I know what's going on there. But yeah, with I never thought that I would be a big fan of those immersive sims, because it felt to me like, yeah, it's a lot of backtracking. Something's dropped outside, who cares? With backtracking and so on. But then I played Prey and enjoyed it. I mean, the new Prey from 2017, and now catching up with all the Bioshocks and so on. So yeah, apparently I'm having fun with those games. And happy birthdays or late, or it's okay. It's late for everyone, and I don't want to make a big fuss out of it. And now I think I did with this thing here. Are you hyped for Tiny Tina's Wonderlands? And Butt Stallion says, let's Big Snake, and I have no idea what you're talking about. Is it Borderlands 2 perhaps? Because no, I'm sadly I'm not hyped for any of those. Tiny Tina is Borderlands, right? So I haven't played Borderlands. Should I give it a try? I've only heard that Handsome Jack is really handsome. May your code compile, your renders render, and your games bring joy and sparkles to the world. Thank you so much, Ender. This is so nice. I really appreciate it. This wonderful thing that you could actually put on a card. This is nice. And the automated unicorn feels daring, but just can't decide what to do. And the feeling has passed. I feel you, automated unicorn. I feel you. So long it's not a piece of the airplane dropping out. Please hope not. I mean, they can't eject their toilets over residential areas, can they? Well, let's hope that they're not getting. I'm not getting any bad ideas out there. They are making a separate game out of a Borderlands 2 DLC. Okay, so then sounds like I should play Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2, Borderlands 3, and all the Borderlands DLCs, and also the Telltale series on Borderlands. My god, and I thought I would have some kind of rest before Christmas. Tiny Tina is Borderlands, and she's a 12-year-old explosives expert and crazy as heck. Sounds wholesome. Yeah, I know a little about Borderlands because I've watched all the reviews. I mean, not all the reviews, but I had my fair share of the reviews. So I think I know a little bit about the appeal of Borderlands and everything. And you know what? I'm still waiting on Fallout 5. But I don't think I will be getting one. I'll be getting Fallout 76 Part 2, perhaps. And yeah. Because I realized when I was playing Bioshock, I fell into my good old behavior of playing Skyrim, where it's just, okay, I enter a new room, so I dispatch the enemies first, and then I know there is some story going on, but first I have to ruffle through all the containers and take pretty much everything that is not nailed there, and if it is nailed there, I try to somehow get it off so that it's not nailed there anymore, and I can put it in my inventory, and I'm eternally over encumbered and cannot run in those games. Good times. Yeah, I have no idea where I started my tangent from, but I apologize, but you know how it is with me. Sometimes I just ramble, go into a direction and forget where I was coming from. So this is interdimensional rambling for you. Right. I realize now I haven't eaten much apart from some oat porridge. Anyway, yeah, maybe I will do something later. First, just I need to calm my nerves. I hope it's not too loud on the audio, by the way. I mean, I have a pretty aggressive compressor, as you probably know, so I can scream and it's not going to clip, which took me quite a while to figure out. Right, so yeah, who wants to start doing some weird pixel graphics thing, or pretty much anything that works in Photoshop, because I'm feeling artsy today, because this means I can finally relax a little bit. Any rambles are welcome, interdimensional or otherwise. Thank you very much, because I wouldn't know what to change from my ramblings. Right, so let's open up good old Photoshop there. And Lady Misleaf needs art. Yes, Frank, right. But I don't want to want to tread on anyone's toes where I say, yeah, I'll be making art for your game. And people say, yeah, thanks, but I'm good. And I say, I will do it anyway. Let me switch over. Where is... I should reorganize my stream deck. There we are. Still got my cute hat on. Let's Pick Snack says, I personally think that the paper crinkling is more satisfying than the horn. Good. It's also nicer on any ears of any audio engineers who might be present. Because if there's one thing that I know that people in audio hate, is loud noises in front of the microphone, and so much fun on film sets, so much fun with audio people. Bad karma for me, probably. What's the pixel art on your wall? Which one? Which wall? Got so much pixel art on so many walls. Please, can you specify? Because yeah, I used a lot of pixels in making my art. Yeah, very, very well put, Phil. The many me's of pixel art on my wall. Okay, now I'm completely and utterly confused. Behind you. This is? You mean this? Not this one, right? You mean this beautiful art here, right? So let me switch over so that you can behold it in all its full glory. And this is fan art, so it's not me that I did it, but it is from Roar. And Roar, I think, posted it on Twitter a year back or so, and had pixeled me in all different incarnations and variations, and also for the upcoming Ludum Dale 42 with just 3 question marks, because we haven't established who this person is yet. So yeah, and I still like it so much, so this is why it's there on my wall, so that I can look at it whenever I feel myself I'm not pixeled enough. There we go. So I hope this explains it. And Lore of Finlandia, says Pickalick. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't aware that I played so many different stupid little characters in my bits, but now that I've seen it there on on paper, I thought, oh gosh, a lot of different hats and glasses that I have assembled. Thank you, Automated Unicorn. Now it needs Crazy Phil, exactly, the polisher of the insane asylum. Right, what is going on here? The good thing is, let me just try this here. Finally, with all the technical problems and difficulties that I had, what finally works now is getting my Wacom tablet running in Photoshop. And let's see if it's pressure sensitive. Brings a tear to my eye. It's also pressure sensitive, and it works like it should, so wonderful. The 24 personalities of Philly Milligan. It's just 24 By the way, who is Philly Milligan? I have no idea who that is. Probably I'm very bad with pop culture. I think sometime around 2002 I've lost touch with what's cool with the kids. I think all the cool kids are now on Taka Tech or whatever it's called. I mean, my god, I really should update my MySpace page. Any one of you on Orkut? We could exchange user handles on Orkut. So then we can trade cool MP3s to put on our Zunes. And if I don't find a MP3, I just look it up on Bing. And TechBox North is also here. Thank you so much. Happy birthday. You know what? Let me just... Why not? This is so much fun. They only had just one orange one and I wanted a yellow one, but I had to get the entire bag for the orange one. Who cares? Anyway, pixel art, right. I want those MP3s, yo. Rambling Phil, again, maybe you should have some sort of ramble alert insert here. Let me see if I can find something that works equally as when I'm starting to ramble. Maybe this one works. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Yeah, I think this one works when I start to ramble. Right, what I wanted to say is, does any one of you remember mp3.com? Because that was an actual website, and I recently saw a screenshot of my old work there because I used to upload my songs and tracks 20 years ago to mp3.com. It didn't cost you anything. I'm not quite sure if you had to host them there or at some other web space. I had some web space in Norway, I think. Yeah, it was Norway. It was just 1 megabyte, but I could fit like 3 MP3s on there, heavily compressed. This is where I started to find and develop my music love for instrumental surf music, of all things. So that was mp3.com. Tangent over. You want to feel better about your lack of pop culture knowledge, says Lady Misleaf. I haven't watched Back to the Future. Great Scott, you haven't! My god! Someone should get you into a DeLorean time machine. But if you haven't, it's okay. I've rewatched it again, and I still think the first one is super nice. But yeah, with the second and the third one, there are some things that I don't really like that much about them. But probably it's just something that develops over time because the movies are over 30 years old, such as myself now. So I think it's okay if some movies don't grow with you, you know what I mean? But then again, I still enjoy those movies. So I think, yeah, Back to the Future 1 is still one hell of an action comedy movie because there's just so much happening that's in terms of structure and jokes and everything. It just feels nice, and it's a not tiny, but it's a nice little package of jokes and adventure. I also still think that Terminator 2 is still one of the best action movies of all time, so probably I'm biased. And Frank stands in Lady Misleaf's corner. Oh my god! So many people haven't watched Back to the Future. It's okay, you can always go back to the past and watch them. I remember Winamp, says Pickalick. Winamp, it really whips the llama's ass. I think that was the Winamp sound, right? There is a good website with grand collection of Winamp skins, treasure for sure. Yes, it's not that old actually. I think there was a website with Winamp skins and it was affiliated with Winamp, and someone just scrubbed it all and put it on a nice, wonderful, new-looking website. And I looked it up, and still the Winamp skins that I made, I think all 2 of them are still there, which is super nice. That somehow they stood the test of time, because I'm not quite sure if I have the actual Photoshop files of making them in 2002 or 2003. Lilo still uses Winamp. If it's not broken, why fix it? And Sparkle, Lilo still Sparkle Winamp. And original are always best. Original are always best. There we go. About the Winamp, I was a Winamp zealot back in the day when you had Winamp 2.71 and then it jumped straight to Winamp 5 because Winamp 3 was a bit contentious, where you think, yeah, I don't know if I like Winamp 3, it's just too big and bulky, but maybe Winamp 4 will fix it. And then there was Winamp 5 because they said Winamp 5 is like Winamp 2 and 3 combined, so it's 5. And this, I think I gave up on Winamp when I found my favorite MP3 player. Let me bring it here in view. And this is, can I zoom in? Of course I can zoom in. This is Fubar 2000, if anyone knows of that one. And I've been using this since 2008 when I was living in Berlin and I was working in a cafe, and I had this MP3 player running in the background, and I was working on my very underpowered notebook there. I mean, consider it's 2008, so notebooks weren't as performant as they are now, and I was running Maya, Photoshop, After Effects, and Photoshop. Yeah, did I say Photoshop? Probably said Photoshop at the same time, and listening to MP3s there. And then Maya crashed and somehow corrupted memory, and with it just pulled Photoshop and After Effects into the abyss, and the mouse pointer was choppy and everything was just crashing. But you know what became choppy? That was the MP3 playback. So whatever Fubar did probably just hogged all the performance that was still left there. It like a little engine, it was just on its tracks, dead set to play one track after the other for 15 minutes while my system slowly crashed. And since then I thought, my god, it's so light on resources, it has so many plugins that I can use, and I mean, it's ugly, god, it's ugly, but it works. So this is the MP3 player that I've been using for 13 years now, my god. Okay, right, pixel art. Because what my initial idea is, let's make a smiley because we're all happy. This was stupid. What my idea was, I did a pixel painting of the standoff at Tiananmen Square a while back. Let me see if I can find it again. Where is my browser? There it is. I called it History in Pixels. And I have it on Redbubble even. But if I just Google for History in Pixels, of course it doesn't work anymore. But Tankman, you probably have seen the famous photo. And for some reason, there we go, there it is. Open. Computer, open. No, open in new tab. Yeah, whatever, just then let's go with this tab. No, that's not the tab. There we go. That's the tab. So can I zoom in? Of course I can't zoom in now. Can I open it in a new page? Yeah, this is I mean, it's so small on your side probably, so it doesn't really come off as pixel art. Let me see, is Glassbrick running? Now Glassbrick is running, but it's not. Now it's working finally. Okay, so let's try this again. There we go. So yeah, this I pixeled in, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours, and it was lots of work, but I still like it very, very much because I tried to keep the count of colors as low as possible, and I think this one has 32 colors or even less. I probably have it here in 30 colors, and there's even the good old GIF. I hope I didn't move it on my server because it's quite a while since I made this. No, wonderful, there we go. So yeah, this was the creation of this artwork, and I always wanted to add another famous photograph, turn it into pixel art, and so I thought the next one should be maybe something that's not in landscape but in portrait orientation, and I thought I want to go with something that's a bit more uplifting than this, which was at its base, yeah, just an exercise in trying how much I can get done with as little colors as possible. And yeah, the next one I want to be close want to be of this famous photo here of, was it Buzz Aldrin or Neil Armstrong? No, it's Aldrin. It's Buzz Aldrin here seen on the moon. And yeah, I just thought I want to pixel that. Right, let me see. Let me catch up here. What a jolly little foobar, says Rather Jolly. Right, automated unicorn. You forgot the birthday hat on the smiley. Oh, no. On the Photoshop smiley. Right, so here, attention, art. You got here some eyes, a smile, and let's have here the birthday hat. And let's make this creepy. And now we have the grinning cat having a birthday. I doubt there's many people who haven't seen that photo. Yeah, well, outside certain countries. Fair enough. As far as I know, it's still censored in China, mainland China, probably. I like it. Oh my god, I can't tell the difference. Wonderful. Okay, yeah, as for pixel art, how would I go about doing this thing? And I already did some tests here. For example, I found this nicely color treated version of this one. I mean, this I got from the NASA website, so it's a super nice scan of everything, but of course it looks a bit flat. And this picture here looks nicer. I don't know who did the color treatment here, but clearly the person did not care that there is some clipping happening on this side where the white of the sunlit part of the suit blends into the background. So maybe this is just a bit too strong. But what I like about this are the colors. Essentially, where here it's blue in the background, or blue towards where something is black, and more of a warm, friendly yellow where it towards the lights. So if we compare those two, yeah, the other one of course looks more contrasty. So what I did is I already downscaled it so that I can just start my paint over there. And what I also did was here I tried to, thank you so much, phone. What I also tried was to get the colors out of it. So this was the palette that was created when I just turned this to, I don't know, 30 colors or something. And I thought, yeah, just pick my colors from the reduced version and this will be my palette. But then I realized it's not that simple, not that easy. For example, you can see here that I would probably need more red for those valves or whatever those are on the suit. Maybe a little bit of orange for the reflection. And everything else is just here this blend from dark blue to orange, yellow, white. Right, so this automated palette didn't help me with that, because you can see here the closest thing to red, I get this auburn brown here. So instead I tried to make a custom palette, and you can see here it uses much less colors, and I hope I can get away with those. But I even got here some red down here and brown and maybe even a bit pinkish red for this part here of the American flag. Ink says, have you ever tried pixel art with 1:2 or 2:1 pixels? Thinking about the Commodore 64 2:1 pixels when using colors. I've tried it, yes, but found it super hard because you really have to rethink most of it. By the way, if you want to turn, let's say, this Moonman picture in a Commodore 64 drawing, or well, not drawing, essentially bitmap or sprite. Let's just cut this out and crop it down. Many years back I started doing my own Photoshop actions, and I called them vintage graphics. Maybe I can find them. Load actions, retro graphics, there we go. And those are done with, it took a lot of care to get them right, so I can turn any picture here into a C64 image. So I just pick one color that is going to be the border color or close to the border color. But now let's just run these actions there, and it should save changes. No, let's not save the changes. And now I can say, yeah, this is the palette. So this is already the C64 palette, but you can see it's squashed because the C64 doubles the pixels. So let's go with pattern. What does look best? Diffusion. Yeah, let's go with diffusion. And this is how it would look on a C64, provided you can spare the memory to have this entire thing there in the memory, which you usually can't. But yeah, this was just a lot of fun, and I even have here started to do this not just for the C64 but also for, do you like an EGA graphics, the good old 16 DOS colors. Let's have a look at it, and this is what this could look like in EGA at 320 by 200 pixels. Or, I mean, EGA is not that terrible looking. I know you're probably curious how this looks in CGA graphics. So, yeah, also got a filter for CGA, and also CGA doesn't have quadratic pixels. If you look closely, those are again some little rectangles. Yeah, I played a lot around with those, but sometimes it's just nice if you want to see a certain artwork in a certain style. I can just do it with one click, and I even got here the other CGA mode that is less well known, but it got more pleasing colors. Relatively speaking, I mean, instead of white, you got brown, so it's yeah, it's not that much of an improvement over the original cyan and fuchsia colors. And finally, of course, we got Cga High Res Mode, which also has pixels that are portrait mode aspect ratio. So yeah, this was just a fun afternoon getting all those retro graphics done. Oh my god, I'm completely off track again. Andrew says those are attachment points for umbilical lines. They provide life support while connected to the ship or to a suitcase while they are walking out of the rocket. So you're quite a space nerd. Wonderful, because I consider myself as well a space nerd, but this, I think I'm much of a space nerd as I'm a band music fan. My god, this doesn't make any sense now, does it? I mean, I'm super fascinated by space and spacefaring and astronauts and planets, and I had this whole big book with colorful planets as a kid, and I loved it. But I'm also a big fan of the music from Calexico, and I love all their tracks, got most of their albums, but then again, I lack the detail. I have no idea who the people who make this music are called, what they look like, who plays what instrument, what their backgrounds are. All I know is what I get at face value, that is the music, which I like. And same is it for me with space stuff. I like space, and oh look, rockets, space exploration, it's a nebula, my god. But yeah, about the underpinnings, I don't know a lot. As I mentioned before, is there anything you can't do, says InkDeo21. It's singing. It's probably singing. Yeah. I know where you're coming from, says Andrew. Thank you. So let's put my actions back there. But yeah, to answer your question, no, I haven't dabbled much with pixels that aren't square, because I have to rethink how I do things completely. Okay, so how I would do this, or how I'm doing this. Let's do this, right? So the first thing is probably I want to do a screen lapse, time lapse of this thing here, because it's always nice if you can, yeah, make a nice GIF of how things came together. But again, what I realized is when I'm zooming in and out, it's super fidgety on a time lapse. So this is probably not something that I want to have on a time lapse. But the cool thing is I can just make a new window that is now here. And when I change something in one window, it gets reflected, the change gets reflected in the other window. And I'm demonstrating it right now, but probably don't have to, because you know what it means when something is reflected from one window or another. So the cool thing about this is that I can always check on my pixel art at 1:1 ratio or 1:2. And also the good thing is, no matter where I'm zooming in and out of this, from this one I can create a nice little time lapse provided I don't move it around much. So let me make another here, and I just make it double size. So this is how I would start doing pixel art stuff. Right, so as for the time lapse, I have a very helpful script that I wrote for Ludum Dare for all those time lapses. If I can find it, presets, DOS batch files, take screenshot every 5 seconds. And if you're interested in what it looks like, it says it needs ner CMD. This is a little program that lets you take screenshots and everything. So yeah, essentially it's just padding the numbers of the screenshots and so on and so forth. And I can even specify a destination folder that should exist, and I will just post it here at, say, gtemp. I'm not sure if gtemp exists actually. let me just check. No, it does not. I make a new folder, g time lapse. It's a time lapse. G time lapse. And I just call this Moonman. And because it's Ludum Dare inspired, I have here a subfolder for each day, and I call this just day 1, and I can even set the interval here. And this is all the things that I need to set. All the other things here I don't have to touch, which is good. And let me, I'm not going to save it or override it, because I will save it as on my desktop, screenshot, and then I can run it essentially. So take screenshot, and then of course I have to make sure that it actually works, because it doesn't look like it's working. Probably messed something up already. Wonderful, there we are again. So time lapse Moonman 1, but it is empty. Why is it empty? Probably messed up something here. Oh, I have an inkling why it's empty, because I changed my screen resolution now here to 1080 all around. This one is expecting a 4K screen in the middle. Maybe that's the problem. Subfolder day, let's just call it day 1A, interval. Ah, God. There we go. It's not working. It's not. Oh, it plays a horrible sound. It plays a horrible sound. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you're hearing this. It's a dog whistle sound that I don't know why. I think this was because I wanted to have it beep when something is wrong. Enters panic mode. Exactly. Do you still hear it? Is it still? Yeah, it's still playing. Oh my God. Okay, I have to cut the cord here. That's the beep, all right. Yeah, I don't know why I thought the beep. I mean, it's at 300. It should be at 300 hertz and not at like 3000. So this is where I need to get this run DLL. Where is it running? I don't know where this is happening. It's still going on. Yeah. I'm so sorry. Yeah, because the idea is if the file or the folder already exists, it should beep. But now it doesn't really beep anymore, and doesn't says here in color red. It should say not saved and make a beep, but I can't get the beep to stop. Lovely sound. Yeah, exactly. I hope it's not going on for 300 seconds, because I don't know which run DLL I need to kill here. Runtime broker. Maybe, let's see, maybe was it runtime broker? No, it was not the runtime broker. Oh jeez. What did I start? There we go. What has the most memory? Runtime broker, SVC host. If only I could tell which thing is now here doing the beep, so that I can get rid of it. Yeah, still beeping. Kill the process. Yeah, this is what I want to do, but the process is some run DLL DLL kernel 32, and I'm not finding it here in my list of running processes because it's special. And yeah, my god, I got 4 instances of Node running, and this is probably because of of OBS. OBS browser page, there we go, but that's not it. PostgreSQL, so much crap, so much crap. It sounds like a magical device in some movie that floods the entire earth and cures everybody to the hero's content and happy end. If only we're still here, we'll fight through the pain. My god, today technical difficulties, yeah, still beeping, still going on. If only there were a way to find out what is causing this. Okay, I will go and sort through programs that use not a lot of memory. Run DLL 32. There we go. It is just 700 kilobytes, and that's it. It was and wonderful. We got even a new music track. Okay, so I will take this else completely out. This is when you change something there live on stream. Folder already exists. Any existing files will be overwritten, but it's not saving anything. Wonderful. Okay. Why not? Freedom, success. Yeah, but it's not doing what I want it to do. Does this folder still exist? Let's start from there. Yes, this folder does exist, and also the access still exists. This is good. This is wonderful, but it's not project, folder, destination, make directory, file name, day, padding count, extension. Near command path, wait for the interval. The interval is 500 milliseconds, save screenshot to project folder, G timelapse, destination. I'm debugging now, and all I wanted to do was do some pixel art. Destination is Moonman, and it exists. It created the folder, so maybe if I get rid of just the 1A folder there, interval 5, set count to 0, start. It should work, right? It should work. It's file name saved. Open folder in Explorer. Yes, okay. Sometimes when you have multiple tabs open, you probably know this, that if you save something as and still operate on the wrong instance. Yeah, it's not doing it for me, is it? Go to start. Echo start. We're at printf again. Yes, I want to override it. So okay, we're here at start, and it's set count to +1, set file name, and then it should go to start, but it does not. So nerd command save screenshot. Oh, if exist echo. So this if needs to go. Start, any files will be overwritten. Are you crashing in 5 seconds? Are you starting a screenshot? You're doing a screenshot! I can't believe it. Let me check if you're actually saving it. The folder is empty. It's not saving it. F5. Or am I in the wrong folder? It's so nice. It says saved, but it did not save it. Oh, God. All I want is a nice clean screenshot. Time lapse. Okay, so we are here at maybe echo file name. Yeah, I've already had this here. Debugging. And it prints here the file name, which is correct. Or is it? Saved. No, it's not correct, because the file name should have the day and the padding underneath, and the day is 1A. Oh, God. So project folder, destination subfolder. echo file name, echo project folders subfolder. Time-lapse Moonman 1A. This looks good. This looks exactly where it should be saved, but it's not saving it. Hilarious! So, does it save to project folder? Destination. Oh, destination / backslash subfolder. How did this script ever work? I'm curious now. So let me see if it works now. Yes, now it works. Okay. Hilarious. But yes, this is how it looks like. Look at this. This is me on the other screen as I'm looking over. Beautiful. Okay, so finally we can get started with print a screenshot command before you execute it. This would be a great idea, so I probably should have done that instead of just printing, yeah, what I did. But it works now. It works now. I'm not touching it. Not touching it. Not touching. Not touching. And so many tabs. Finally, let's have a sip of unicorn. I'm watching somebody else doing frustrating debugging. Unexpected change. Yeah, this is debug core. This should be a category on Twitch where you just watch someone stepping through the code debugging and always going, I don't know, it should work, or how has this ever worked, as it was right now. Okay, finally, so how do I start drawing pixel art? Probably much like this. No, of course not. The first thing that I do is my worst, the thing that I'm struggling with worst is proportions. I mean, the more you draw, the better you get at proportions, but to me it always feels like it's a super struggle and I don't want to subject myself to it. So Lady Miss Liv says, oh man, I missed the debugging, I had to go bio. Wonderful, as long as you miss debugging, it's a time well spent, frankly. Again, completely lost my tangent. Right, I'm not too good with, with talking apparently, proportions. So what I'll be doing is I start out by, first thing is I switch my brush to the pencil brush, which means it's just pixels without any anti-aliasing going on. That just means your ears weren't brutally murdered. Yes, I'm really sorry for that. So I took out this horrible beep command. So I'm really sorry for that. So it should be safe now. This stream should be a safe space now. I took out the beep command. It's gone. It's gone. Right, new layer, because we all know how fun it is to start on the wrong layer. And now for to get the proportions right, I'm doing the good old just painting over what is there so that I get the proportions right. The thing is, it doesn't have to be detailed or anything, just so that I know what should go where, essentially. Because all the other things I'm relatively adept at, I would say. And the other thing that I can always fall back onto, of course, is the original artwork in its original size, which I will do a lot. So again, this is just to get an overview of where things should be in the end. So I'm not quite sure where. Okay, so there is a little bit of background between his legs. Wonderful. So good, there's the knee, there is the other knee, and there's a little stubby foot, and I think he's wearing moon boots. Also do the same thing here for the shadow. Again, doesn't really have to be detailed or anything, it's just something so that I can use for myself as a point of reference. Also, as you see, the color is not really that important. Or the moon horizon, maybe it's just like this. And can get rid of it here. Bam. And here we got wonderful pixel art. Maybe also, I think this is from the lander. Something. Yeah. And as for the rest, when it comes down to pixeling the background or the actual surface, I don't know how we'll do it, but I will certainly find a way. So this is the thing that I'll be starting with, and maybe it's good to have this picture here as my reference, that I can put it somewhere. So maybe I will put it even into this frame here, just so that it doesn't overlap the one that I want to use for my time-lapse. Right, cool. Back to work. So the first thing that I usually do is just lay out, oh, now I need my palette, of course. Here is my palette, and let's stick it maybe here. Can I put it there? Come on, Photoshop. Yes, let's put the palette here, but I want to move it outside and have it like this. Okay, good. So as you can see, I'm using individual canvases, as the artist says. Nobody says the canvases. Yeah, just so that I have my layout to work on. Right, so my fan just died for some reason. This is not good, but it's okay. I'm not sweating anymore. Anyway, I got this here, this little ventilation shaft. Right, okay, so let's pick for the background. No. Am I on the right layer? Good old question. Am I on the right layer? Now I am. Okay, good. And for the Moon Man, I will just anti-alias. I can switch off anti-alias. No one needs anti-aliasing for pixel art. And just fill it out so that it's just not something that's entirely black and going to distract me. So I'm a bit tempted to get started with everything. Damn it. If I zoom in, you can see here this red is not as bright as the other red because there was anti-aliasing going on this tool. So if you have a better tool for doing pixel art, or is there a better tool for doing pixel art than Photoshop? Certainly there is. It's called Ace Sprite. That is ASE Sprite, and with that that's clearly geared towards pixel artists, so you don't run into the problems that I'm having here with Photoshop. But the good thing with Photoshop is that I'm used to Photoshop, and yeah, and this is why I'm using it. Put a little computer fan in the head. Yeah, this would be... I mean, I could put a propeller on top, right? This would be nice. Okay, so let's do this again, what I just did before. What I also find funny is if you click and the flood fill algorithm in Photoshop, I don't know what it's doing, but it takes way too long for what it actually is. Right. Okay, so I think this should get us started then. This will be my background reference, perhaps, and now I start just with a new layer on top. And start doing, yeah, let's start with the visor. Should we start here with the visor? Helmet, you remove the red lines. Yeah, not really that important. I can always switch back to the reference, and good, I hope. So yeah, let's start. Let's start with the visor. Just picking here dark blue. And to be super safe here, I'm just tracing it again. There we go. So no harm done. So zoom in. I want to see those precious pixels. Right. So the first thing that I do now is for the reflection here. I want to zoom in my reference, of course, and see how I can create this with essentially this thumbnail size that I have here of the pixels, and just make the shape a bit nicer. And I'm always checking here in my thumbnail view on top to see if the shape is somehow working. as I'm drawing it here. I'm not doing or not bothering yet with anti-aliasing. But so we get here this astronaut, and here the reflection of the lander, and this is kind of darkish. So that's how I would see the reflection for now. This is very bright. Pick maybe this one here. No, this is too bright. There's something fishy going on with Photoshop because the performance is really bad. Should Buzz have a birthday hat? Probably. We can make him a birthday hat. So like here, really dig here the reflection. So, and it's getting dark quite early in the helmet. So come on. Yeah, there's something weird going on here with Photoshop because of the performance is really shoddy. But it's okay. I can still draw some pixels. Again, I'm not overly thorough here right now because I know that I can always come back and fix problems later. So the brightest part in the image, in the visor at least, should be the reflection of Neil Armstrong. I think it's Neil Armstrong. There weren't that many people around on the moon. Right, so next up, if I just look through here, and you can see here, I wasn't too far off, but here the reflection is a bit too far on the side. So we'll probably will fix that while I'm still here. So you can see what I mean with I'm a bit challenged when it comes to proportions. Where I think something goes and where it actually goes is a different matter. But again, I think I'm close enough for now. And the rest is really super black here. So I just make it super black on the sky. Yeah, looks. I really like how it looks here in this little preview here. So here the side looks still a bit weird when you squint. This is always what I go for when I squint and I still see roughly what's important, or it looks how it should be, or the eye gets drawn to the portions that are important. Then I think I'm doing things right. And I think the problem is now with the sluggish performance of Photoshop is that I'm running glass brick. So if I turn off glass brick now, it should be a bit better, I hope. Right, so I like the visor. So always be ordered. So let's call this visor, and the one underneath helmet, Lord Helmet. So yeah, let's take care of the helmet then. So the color that I have here, I mean, as we can see, there's very hard contrast going on here on his helmet. So I think it's important to have this bright edge here. You probably can't see my mouse pointer now that I closed glass break. Beautiful. So I start not OBS Studio. I'm already running OBS Studio. I start glass break again so that you can see my cursor. There we go. Yeah, I think I can deal with not that good performance for now. So there we are. I will draw now the helmet on top because clearly I did something here wrong with the visor, or not wrong, but I just moved it around a bit too much, and also drew here in this gray background color something. So let's try it like this, and we already are here in the almost brightest part of the image if I zoom out. So this is really that you don't have a lot of definition at this area here. Maybe I will I will add some definition essentially so that it's not as bright as bright as it could be, or is in the case of the original photo, so that there's just a hint of an edge present. So picking colors, yeah, I think the problem really is with this glass brick thing that I have. Right, okay, so I think this looks kind of nice. I like how those colors are coming together here, and this very subtle was it fringe? That's the word that I was looking for. Right, so and the part here with the helmet, that is super dark. That is super dark. So I think this is already where we go here. I can flood fill it here in blue. And you can see here it's already starting to come, well, together already is probably a bit too strong. But you can see where we're going. So now what is this part here of his backpack? And I'm just trying to find the color here that is closest to that one, and it is the color that is already here. So no need to change it here. Maybe I can just draw on top that I'm not getting distracted here by the colored lines, like so. And this is a bit too large. I can... Oh yeah, this is the original. I was right. The red is just extended too far ahead because you can't see here on his helmet. You can't see above his helmet. So let's try it like this. And we got here again. No, this is the color that I want. And I'm drawing on the wrong layer. Have a drink. Every time I'm drawing on the wrong layer. Helmet, there we go. That's the correct one again. And yeah, this looks good. And on this side, we're coming out here with blue again. And again, this is probably here the brightest part as well, where the sun is here reflected on whatever this thing is. I will call many of things on this suit just this thing or this thingy or button or whatever, because yeah, I'm clearly lacking the terms of what to call those things. They're things. They're just things. Why would you draw on the wrong layer? I don't know, probably because I'm stupid or something. Nobody draws on the wrong layer. I've never heard of anyone who accidentally drew on the wrong layer. So, no, why red, not red, white, white, good. Okay, so let's continue then here with the part of the helmet. This part, and is it this little label? Now I'm not sure if it's on the right position. No, it's not. It should go down here. Good to know. Good to know. There we go. Fixed it. The visor. There we go. I was a bit worried that I deleted a layer or something, which you wouldn't believe it, but sometimes this happens. It actually does happen. So now this bright part here in front of the helmet, which is of this color here. And what color have I used that is kind of similar to it? Maybe this one, but it's too bright. This one is also too saturated. Maybe this one could come close. So I'm using this color now here and see how far it works, if it does work. Kinda works, kinda works. So as for the rest here, just giving this a flood fill. And if you watch here this little preview, it almost looks like something that you would recognize. So I need a bit of a fringe here that you can see it a bit better. Doing some poor man's anti-aliasing. The trick with anti-aliasing is you don't want to do it on all the corners, otherwise it looks just wrong. But maybe I can get away with when it looks like this. You can see here in the very small preview, hopefully, in this one here bigger, how it looks almost like a curved part. No. Yeah, looks like a curve. And this is, you wouldn't believe it, but if you, I mean, of course you can believe it now. If you look at this, that this does look like a curvature, you wouldn't think that it works, but clearly here in the small one, it works. Right, back to my reference. So just need to make sure that I'm not drawing on the wrong layer. This one is called Helmet and it's actually the helmet layer, which is wonderful. Cool. Yeah, let's, you know what, I want to save this now because probably it's a good idea to save this and continue on a new file. Good. Okay, so let's continue with the upper part there of his bag, his life support. Again, thingy with this thing. Again, I want to check if I'm correct here. And you know what? My visor is not as large as it should be, or is it? Huh. On, off. Yeah, it's wrong. It's wrong. So let's fix this. You know what? I will add visor and helmet now. I will merge them into one layer and make it a bit bigger. The thingamabobber, the whatchamacallit. Yeah, it's one of those gizmo thingaroos, clickety clackety ditchery. What? Yeah, making something a bit bigger is much smaller, harder than making something a bit smaller again. Because now I've lost all this beautiful curvature pixel art that I did. But it's okay. I mean, if the end product benefits from it, sure, why not? So again, I will check now if it looks better now. Yeah, still not quite there. But better. So there we go. I think this works now. Good. Okay, so every pixel counts or contributes to the final impression of the image. So this is why I'm it's always good to go back and forth a lot to if you notice something is not looking correctly. So again, the lunar module needs a bit more attention. It's more dark. Yeah, this looks better, I think. Pixel art is something I would like to be able to do eventually, but I'm not sure I'd have the patience for it. Yeah, I think it takes quite a lot of patience, because in the end it's pixel pushing, where you think, yeah, it looks good here or not too good here, but also not good there, and then you start going, I wish I could move it half a pixel to one side or the other, and in the end it's just a lot of trial and error. But yeah, if you're used to having results very quickly, I'm not quite sure that pixel art is able to deliver. So I'm quite happy with how this looks here in the small version. You can almost make out what it's supposed to be. Maybe I can get even a bit closer to what it is that's being depicted. So I need the brightest color that I have, that is this one, for the astronaut. And there we go. It's still blurring a bit together here, the colors, so... Plane! This needs to be a bit more circular than I have it right now, this fall off from yellow to blue. Essentially, I mean, this is just where the sun is falling off, but it's quite hard because it's such a stark contrast from this friendly yellow where it goes to this cool blue that I want to keep. But I think that this could work. What color is this? Reverse, undo. Yeah, it's this one doesn't look right. Yeah, that's better. That is better. And also this part here doesn't look to be as pronounced. And I mean, at this point you could argue that it looks like just like noise, what's happening in this part here. But sometimes it's just one pixel that really makes the difference, where it's yeah, just like I had it, where it feels like you could feel here the reflection of the lander. But then if I just make here this one pixel black, and suddenly here it breaks up and it looks like it's two completely separated instances of something. Maybe the second lightest in your blue column might work for getting here this transition, you mean? Yeah, probably. It looks awfully good, I have to say. Thank you. And maybe if I switch over here, you know what? I will pull my reference here. So you can see here the double pixel size, because I think the other one here, this is probably a bit too small to see on stream. But yeah, with this one, I think you can make out what's going on here. Right, where's my reference? I need to have it very close by. So good. Okay, so again, this looks to be like something like this is going on. So I'm doing it a bit more impressionistic, and then with the second time I step over it, I really start doing with every time, essentially, where I'm with every pass that I'm doing, I'm refining the pixel work a little bit. And this is just I'm going over it like a bit of a Roomba, just randomly over the painting of the things that I have already. Yeah, and just just keep filling in the pixels that look wrong to me. I think this looks better now. Does it? Or is it too thin? Maybe I missed it, but how did you choose the image size? I have a tendency to start way too small and can't get any details in there. Frankly, I didn't discuss it. What is the actual size? It's 160 or 161 by 220 pixels. So essentially, roughly I'm going for like 80-75% of VGA. At least for this kind of paintings, but as you said, if you start out too small, you probably realize it when it's too late, and if you start too large, you also notice it when, oh my god, I'm doing a lot of semi pixels, but then it's a bit easier to go smaller again. But yeah, I don't know how I choose them. Like I said, roughly VGA, or because from all the DOS games that I played, and with VGA I realized that it's a lot of pixels to paint, and when you go a bit smaller, like 220 pixels, it feels kind of right. It's really hard to say, but yeah, this is my go-to frame size most of the time. But yeah, it really depends. It really depends on where you want to go. I mean, since this one is essentially just a standalone thing, it really doesn't matter the size. So I want for this little strap, or what it is, I need a darker gray, and this is not it. Maybe this is, no, this is too dark. This looks like it could work here. So this is maybe even a bit black on this label. And now I'm just painting with numbers or painting by numbers. And already we have here hard contrasty areas are always helpful, because you can, it's easy to pick one color. I mean, here where you can see where the shoulder is again very dark, it's much easier to go from here and then work your way up again, I feel. Okay, so this looks good, I think. Maybe this one is a bit, the edge here on his helmet is a bit too strong. Yeah, maybe like this. Yeah, I think I like it better like this. Yeah, let's keep it like that. And maybe I need here a transition, just 1 pixel. Yeah. As I started, says Lady Mistleaf, my art capabilities are limited, as stated. Sorry, my art capabilities are limited, but there's just something I love about painting with a paintbrush, so that scratches an itch. You mean digital paintbrush or actual paintbrush? But if it's fun, go for it. This is when I started doing paintings on oil paintings, but of pixels. I also felt I'm not sure if I'm allowed to do oil paintings, because I'm not a classically trained painter or anything, or even trained at all in that regard. And I'm not sure if I'm allowed to do this. But then again, it was so much fun, so I thought, yeah, I don't need anyone's permission. If it's fun and if it's not hurting anyone, sure, why not? I go for it. So there is also something dark here in the background. If I zoom in a bit, you can see here, we can see the lunar surface here on the back of this pipe. So yeah, I want to, of course, reflect this as well here in my painting. And I hope that I'm not too far off here. For now. It's always for now. Hey, happy birthday. Thank you, Opapi. Thank you so much. I still got my birthday hat on it. So where's my pipe? My whistle. Happy birthday to me. Thank you. Referring to your comment about painting with numbers. Oh, there we go. My God, I've been watching one of an Austrian YouTuber, and it's quite fun, because he says something and then you say something to him or in response in the chat, and he doesn't read the chat that much often, and when he does, of course, the moment has passed, and whatever you wrote is now confusing him even more. And sometimes I feel like I'm exactly the same, making the same mistakes. That yeah, the moment has passed. The reference is now stale and not funny anymore. But thanks for trying. My God, my music that I made in the years past is not that good. Probably it would benefit of a new mix, but then again, that would be work. So I'm now, because I don't like to draw here in the background, I just inverted the background. So it's just different colors of gray, but it's not bleeding that much into what I'm drawing on now. But of course here the background was poking through on this part here of the live support, so probably I shouldn't. Yeah, let's fill this out. No, this was the eraser. There we go. Let's fill this out with the appropriate color where it should be. There we go. Yeah, that's much better. So, but even from this very small thing here, you can see where we are headed with this. So again, not too happy here with the helmet. It looks a little bit like there's an angle to it, so maybe I can get it more. Yeah, like this. That it looks more like there's a curvature to it. Was gonna say, don't overload your project list. Yeah. so many projects, so little time. I was really hoping this week at work that I would be able to catch up on some of my projects. But most of the time it's like when you think, yeah, it's probably going to be an easy week. Yeah, you've already jinxed yourself and you don't even know it. And this is what happened to me, where I thought, yeah, it's going to be a relatively manageable week, and then it just kept going on and on and on. And on Friday, where I thought, yeah, maybe today I could come home a bit earlier than usual, I stayed longer than usual. So yeah, just and yeah, for this now it feels oddly soothing and chill and relaxing. And I hope I can, yeah, I can keep it and not start to be overly obsessed by certain details that may or may not work. But I already feel that I am, because now I really think that I should get started here a bit with the lunar surface there in the background. So, where's my pencil? There it is. So that I can, yeah, let's duplicate this. So that I just don't have to look at everything being too bright there in the background, because it's throwing me off a little bit. And now I'm just duplicating, as you can see here. Just duplicating here the lunar surface. And maybe I can already try to go for a bit of gradient. Was this the right blue tone? No, it was not. So maybe this one background could be a bit darker. Yes, okay, this is good. Of course, now we're in foreground territory again. But I mean, this is nice that we can always delete it. It's okay. This is not an accident or anything. This is just something that we can easily work with. So pick the color and paste the color. There we go. Okay, so it looks a bit trippy, but things are going. And hi FRSen9 or FrSen9 or Frau San9. Welcome. Thank you for dropping by. I'm just trying to pixel the astronaut here. And yeah, the background looks better like this. I just need to yeah, get it out of the foreground, of course. So let's pick all there is and also the red and just subtract it from the background. By subtracting I mean this. And oh dear, again, yeah, you can see what's happening here with the red. Again, I have anti-aliasing switched on. This is such a problem with Photoshop if you want to do pixel art. But then again, Photoshop is all I know. So contiguous, yeah. Now I add the rest of my foreground. There we go. And this should keep the background separated from the foreground until I get there. So let's try this again. Invert. There we go. The red, of course, the red. So where's my white brush? There we go. Yeah, a lot of fuzzing about for just getting here the background a bit. Background, yeah. And David Borland says, happy birthday, Phil. Thank you so much, David, for dropping by. Really, really appreciate the birthday wishes. Cool. Okay, so yeah, you know what? Maybe I will get rid of the red entirely because it's distracting me quite a lot, to be frank. And I mean, all I need is to differentiate the colors, right? So they don't have to be red. So maybe if I can make them, let's pick this color here. No, what did I select now? This was not what I wanted to select. I wanted to say no, not contiguous, red, all the red pixels. There we go. And just color them in, fill with the foreground color. There we go. Okay, so this looks better. Maybe I want to save it again. Number 5. Right, next up, let's continue finally where I've left off. Here. For those curious, I'm painting with a Wacom Intuos Stylus or Wacom Intuos tablet. I've heard, of course, there are new tablets out there, but the abrasion on the tip is super bad with the new ones because, of course, Wacom wants to sell you new tips for your already expensive Wacom tablet. And this one is, I think, over 10 years old now, but it's super smooth. The surface is super smooth, so I still using, I think, the second tip that I changed. So and with the other, you have to change them weekly if you draw a lot, or even if you not draw that much with it. Yeah, I need to zoom in much further. And this was too dark. Lady Misleaf says, and here I was thinking of buying another one. Thanks for the input. I will reconsider. Lol. Yeah, please, if you can, watch some reviews of artists drawing with them and what they feel, because this really opened my eyes to them. I mean, not to the artists themselves. My eyes are already open for artists. Are they not? Cool. Very, very gentle strokes here. So the good thing is, if your brush is just 1 pixel wide, you can't do much damage. My problem is that I only have the 1 tip left, not sure what to do with that after. You can scour eBay or other sources of questionable repute, you know what I mean, bad reputations. Because I think people are still selling them, and I think there might be a company somewhere in China That's also making replacement nibs, but yeah, I'm really not quite sure. I still got this one box that I bought and was super annoyed with how much money I spent on it. So yeah, not quite sure if that's how the helmet goes, but you know what, I will try to keep it for now and just continue from here. There is this angular spot, and then it's a bit brown here and gets darker here. And yeah, this looks like it could work. So there we get here this first crease, so I'll just pick it up and just see how the creases are falling there to guide me then when I'm pixeling, when I get there, like so. And this one is wrong. So but I'm really a fan of this palette that is just cool in the shadows and warm in the highlights, and it feels a bit like yeah, I don't know how to describe here the blues, essentially like a somber blue night, friendly at least. And then on the highlights it's like vanilla cream. It's like a vanilla cream soda. And you probably can tell that I'm a bit hungry right now. Mine came with a spare tip, says Lady Mistleaf. Thankfully, since I realized it's literally just pushing a button inside the pen, I'm wondering if I should just ask my dad to make me a tiny rounded dowels for it. You know what? This could probably work. What I realized way too late is maybe your pen came with one of those little pen holders, and what I, to my utter delight, surprise, and also mortification, noticed is that you can screw it open and it got nibs in there, and even this little tool where you can just remove the nibs. I didn't know that this was a possibility, but if you have one of those, congratulations, I probably have saved you some worries. Okay, I'm not quite sure if I should continue with the shading on this part here, because I'm not 100% certain that it goes. No, mine came with no such thing. It was a cheap pen and touch bamboo tablet. Oh right, the bamboo ones. They are super for starting out. I realized that when I thought now with my Wacom tablet, and I was feeling finally I had saved enough money to get me a proper tablet, and the other ones can all go to hell. And then people bought bamboo tablets for starting out, and I realized, oh, they were also made by Wacom, and they're actually very, very good. So I felt back at the time, because I wasn't using it really a lot, I felt like it's overspent a little bit. But then the next one that I got me was this one, and since that day I'm super smitten with it. I still enjoy it very much, despite all the driver woes that crept up, especially now with Windows 10 and in Photoshop. There is this workaround that you have to have a text file that is called PS prefs or something, where you have to manually disable Windows Ink, because Windows Ink will interfere with your button presses and overlay those little blurry thingies, and yeah, it's just horrible. And with every Photoshop update you have to redo this again, because it lost where it was before. So yeah, bummer. So let's take the other blue then. This looks like it would be fitting. And you can see I'm just inching my way forward over this artwork, and then just hoping that things fall into place or go where they belong. Andrew says, ouch, gotta run out, hopefully be back before you all disperse with this cozy art session. Thank you so much for dropping by, Andrew. Hope to see you again. I don't know for how much longer I will be streaming today, probably not that long, so have a great week. And well, I'm now also glad I don't use Photoshop. I've never had driver issues with any software I've used so far. This is something breaks inside myself because I've had so many problems with various drivers, especially today. But yeah, I mean, this is just how things go. I feel I've already made my peace with driver problems, but then of course in the moment it's never fun. So what's the next light color that I have is this one. Now listening to my music back to back here, it's really striking that everything is set in D minor. Because yeah, this is the only key I think that I feel at home in. So yeah, 90% of my music is in D minor. Now you know. I use Clip Studio Paint, says Opapi. And also paint.net, says Lady Miss Leaf. Yeah, my problem is that I got socialized with Photoshop, and I'm one of those people who really does use pretty much all the features that there are. Well, probably not the medical imaging features, but I use, maybe I used some of those DICOM images dissection thingies as well for one project or another. So yeah, I've tried PaintNet myself, but never grew too comfortable with it. But yeah, so this is why I'm really in no position to complain, because of course I could just try to get to grips with it. But I can rightly say I'm at an age right now where I feel at a certain point I don't want to be bothered with learning something new. I already know all I need to know in my life. Thank you very much. No, it's just I don't want to put in the time to learn a new software and all the quirks that go with that, because I feel like, yeah, I've already spent so much time and the other one still works. Why run a changing system? I hear you on the drivers, says Rather Jolly. So many nights I've dedicated to drivers. Yeah, it feels like you shouldn't do it, or it should be already a solved problem, right? But then of course there is so much going on with the many different vendors and peoples who make software and hardware especially. So there's always something, some room for horrible driver issues. And I think some driver developers don't really bother that much, because especially when it comes to performance optimization, because they always assume that they're running on probably one of the latest systems. So drivers are super slow and problematic. I don't know where I've read a report on printer drivers, and my god, those are some bloated little shits. Because I don't need a super Winnie the Pooh print studio to go along with it. Thank you. All I want is to print black text on a white sheet of paper and not install like 600 megabytes of print software with its own UI and own weird things, and it always asks you to order super expensive ink directly from the source and so on and so forth. I'm rambling again. I'm sorry. I'm rambling again. Things are happy here. Happy astronaut painting. That's happy. Okay, good. I think I've recovered now. Nope. This is the color that I want. No, this is the color that I want. No, it's still not the color that I want. Undo. Pick the color. This is the color that I want. There we go. Yes. I bought Clip Studio Paint, says Lady Miss Leaf, and then tried to use it once, had issues with part of it and never went back to it. I have the same problems or same issues with Construct 2, if any of you knows this. I really wanted to like Construct 2, but it wasn't my jam. Didn't really like how variables were handled and such. And thankfully, I grow very fond of Game Maker. But now, yeah, that's changed thanks to the subscription model. Yeah, it's... I'm not renting again. I use iPad Air and Apple Pencil 2 to draw in Procreate. Sadly, the software doesn't include any talent for arts as TechBox North. So, but you can draw on an iPad Pro, right? Because I always thought it was more like finger painting, and you really had to put in much more effort to produce something worthwhile. Because it was, yeah, you had to zoom in so much if you wanted to draw some details. But okay, so you can draw, as at least in theory, with an iPad. Maybe Photopea might give you less trouble. It's a browser-based Photoshop clone. Browser-based, does it mean it can do the weird many gigabytes of Photoshop files? It can handle them, because I'm a bit worried that it might not be able to do that, because with Photoshop, like I said, I'm using pretty much all the features that Photoshop has to offer. But then again, it never hurts if, yeah, just to shop around for alternatives, just in case. You mean, you know, just in case. Right. And Opapi says, odd, I never had issues. I actually can do a lot. I bought it for like 40 euros once and still get all the updates. Are we talking about PaintNet or Game Maker Studio? This is looking really good, Phil says rather jolly. Thank you so much. I hope it stays that way, right? But yeah, I'm just taking here a pixel, putting it there, then pushing it to the other side, not being happy with where it is, and then starting anew, and so on and so forth. Tried Construct 2, didn't like it either, says Lady Mistleaf. Same as Stencil. I was super hyped for Stencil, but don't know how to make global variables and gave up. Yeah, I mean, same thing I had with Construct is, you know what you want to do, but the circumstances force you to do it the other way around, or a super convoluted way where you feel like you're not being creative to solve some creative issues that you're having. No, it's like you have to trick the program into doing what you want it to do, and it shouldn't be that problematic, right? And this is the problem that I had with Construct, where it felt like, yeah, it was just too constrictive for how it wanted things to look like. Hope this makes sense. Okay, so now with this flag here, this is super interesting that it still comes off as legible with the few colors that I allowed myself for it. So I probably have to dabble a bit in brown. That's probably too brown. Sits halfway between red and this light red, but doesn't really sit between red and light red. So yeah, not quite sure how this will look. Yeah, maybe this could work. Have an iPad Pro with a pencil and I can totally vouch for Procreate, is rather jolly. Okay, so that's 2 for Procreate on the iPad. So that's the internet solving your problems, dear lurker, right there. If you don't know what art software you should get for your iPad, now you know. And the Pencil 2. Was it the Pencil 2? Pencil version 2. This is, yeah, it sounds kind of fun when you think about it. It's like I can't play right now. I have to wait for my guitar to boot first. And yeah, I own a Kitara that is a guitar that's also running Linux and with a touch screen, a multi-touch screen, and you really have to wait for it to boot first when you want to play. Okay, so I think I'm quite happy with how my astronaut is looking so far. Here, this blue here is a bit too dark, I feel. But yeah, still ironing out the kinks, and by ironing out I mean adding more creases. And then learned JavaScript, says Lady Mistleaf, and never looked back, although I am debating on trying out Godot and learning Python. Yeah, I've heard so many good things about Godot from different people. I mean, on my latest postmortem video, I had so many people suggesting Godot, and I've looked at it and I really like this node-based approach. But again, I feel like finally I know somewhat what I'm doing with Game Maker, that I don't want to start, I mean Game Maker and Unity, and that I don't want to start something new entirely. But it's definitely, I will keep it definitely on my radar, that's for sure. My message was about Clip Studio Paint and replied to Lady, says Opapi. Blue screen of death metal must be fun. Yeah, no. But yeah, blue screen of death metal? Yeah, probably. I mean, I've heard this one music track that was made out of the Windows XP error message sound. This dong dong dong. We made a techno track out of it, so pretty much anything could be death metal, but especially blue screen of death metal. It's funny. Okay, so what color is the back of this? That's the color, the back of the gloves there. Techbox North, are you gonna ditch GSM 2 for Unity now when YoYo adopted the subscription model? The good thing is I'm not affected by the subscription model. I think, I don't know about updates though. But they said for now I'm good, I don't have to pay because I had still one of those paid licenses. But I mean, I really don't like where this is going because, okay, here comes a rant about subscription models. Because subscription models are never pro customer, they are always pro seller, essentially. Because as a customer I always feel bad when I'm paying a subscription that I'm not using, right? So you want to get the most out of your software and you're constantly worrying about it. Yeah, I should use it more. Am I using it enough that it really literally pays for itself? And most of the time the answer is no, and you're still feeling bad. While as a company or as a seller, you get guaranteed security that you have a certain cash flow each month because, of course, of the subscriptions, right? But also as a player, yeah, essentially as a user, it always feels like, for one thing, yeah, that I'm not using the software correctly or not enough, and you're also constantly worrying about it, or it's still in the back of your head. And so I'm not having a great time when I'm thinking about all the subscriptions that I'm paying, because it's easy to lose track how many things you're subscribed to, because it's, yeah, just $5 here, $8 there, $10 there, $2 this, and yeah, and then in the end you realize it's like $70 or something each month, and now suddenly it starts to matter. But you as a user always, yeah, are on this verge of, I should use it more, I'm not using it, is it really worth the subscription? Then you might wonder, and maybe, yeah, probably I should switch to a not annual subscription model, but to a monthly subscription model, so that I always have the freedom to step down or cancel out, right? And then you probably won't cancel, I tell you this much, because at least from this is what I've learned about myself. And then you pay just the extra on top of it. This is how I handle Disney Plus. I've been using Disney Plus for 1.5 years now on a monthly subscription basis, because I always want to cancel it the next month, but maybe I need it for something else, just one thing. And yeah, so yeah, maybe it's probably me, but not a fan of subscription models. And Fernofy says, hey, happy birthday. Was heißt eigentlich nachträglich auf Englisch? What does mean belated birthday wish? So I think you want to wish me a belated happy birthday, and thank you so much. It's very much appreciated. What else have I missed in the chat? And Commander Stitch is also here. Happy birthday, Pixel. Thank you so much, Commander. I love to do this, especially towards the camera. Subscription models are a disaster if you finish your project and then 10 years later after you reopen it. Holy shit, yeah, this is another can of worms, especially, I mean, with Unity, it's like you start with one version and essentially just don't update for the rest of your project's life, right? But then there might be features that would make things so much easier on your end if only you had them when it came out. But then again, if you update, you probably crash and trash pretty much all of your code. Yeah, in the end, it's the same thing with Adobe. We're at work using a lot of Adobe products, and I've been on calls with Adobe a couple of times where I'm just saying, yeah, now that you're putting out so many updates, it's really hard for us to know which version we should be working on, because pretty much it's super hard to keep everyone in sync, that everyone is using the same version of Premiere, for example. So if you have a bug and Adobe says, yeah, but then you get a weekly update and the bug is gone. Yeah, but on which workstation is the bug gone? And I can't even trust what certain people are working with what version and so on. So everything has turned into a giant detective operation to find out what version one file was made on and what were issues with that and so on and so forth. Again, I'm rambling. I'm rambling again. But yeah, this is another thing of subscription models. And right, as you said, if you want to archive something with a certain software and you want to open up your project, there's a good chance you can't get the old version anymore because it was automatically updated, because this is part of the subscription plan. So yeah, that's fun. So back to the drawing. What kind of color do I need? This, and I think I have this color. I think here, is it this color? It's close enough. It's close enough. I will use it. I will use this color here. Yeah, archiving projects. My God, this is also a big thing. I'm also in task at work. I'm at work, tasked to keep track of archiving and how to archive big projects. And I always go for, let's just save it in an open file format that we can expect to be around in X number of years. But it's always a guess about what will go through. But then again, if you use something like, I don't know, if you have all your text documents in WordPerfect and you want to open them again, and WordPerfect, the perfect WordPerfect company is not around anymore. Yeah, tough luck, right? So yeah, this is another thing to consider. My God, I'm rambling again. Did I miss something? Oh, Papi says, I have annual and monthly, kind of hard to keep track of everything. Exactly, right? It's super hard unless you're super organized and have a spreadsheet. But I mean, let's be honest, how often will you update your spreadsheet with the current subscriptions you're running or not, and you're having or not, because you cancel something, you get something new, and then you really have to sit down with 1 year of your finances and just plan your costs. Started a Kostenplanung recently. Yeah, cost planning. Yeah, exactly. It's once you realize how many subscriptions you have to endure nowadays. Thank you, email. How many subscriptions you have to endure nowadays? You wouldn't have this many subscriptions if you were aware of the other ramifications at the point of sale. Right. Fernify says, I had my year of Adobe Suite at student pricing, still $20 a month for everything, and I will switch back to Affinity products, I guess. I mean, Adobe is super expensive. I mean, even $20 for the student versions, and of course, I also took my fair share of how long am I eligible for a student account, and how long can I just avoid paying the $60 a month that I do now. And yeah, but it's $60 a month for I mean, it's for all Adobe products, but I mean, come on, of course it's all Adobe products, because if you use more than one, it's cheaper to have the entire suite of all their products than two for licenses or subscriptions for two separate products, because this is of course what they want. Just need to find a good replacement for After Effects. Yeah, depends on what you're doing with After Effects there. I mean, you could use Fusion in Resolve. Resolve can be quite an unwieldy beast, believe me. But if you're willing to learn Fusion and get to grips with it, essentially you can do this now for free. Because I think there's a free version of Resolve, and even if you pay the studio version, I paid like $1,000 back then, and now it's just a couple of hundreds. and then you got access to pretty much everything that it can do. And I mean, it's one of those, for those who don't know, Blackmagic DaVinci Resolve is an editing software. Mainly it started out as a color grading software. It's the one that I use at work every day, but you can also do editing with it. And then it added Fairlight audio, so you can do a lot with audio, even do Dolby Atmos mixing with Resolve. And it got the Fusion compositing software pretty much engulfed in it right now. And Fusion used to be a super expensive, high-end, state-of-the-art compositing software. Now it's just, you can essentially get it, well, not quite for free, but practically for free. So maybe you want to look into that one if that's of interest to you. But apart from that, I really don't know. Maybe the other thing that I would think of is you could use Unity or some other 3D engine and just program all your motion graphics there and just then do a screen recording of it. I mean, it's probably not the most economic use of it, but I mean, then again, you could have an OpenGL web version of your motion graphics. Commander Stitch says to Frank, very true. Same issues with things that get deprecated, like the last game engine I was using. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and it's not even better if you use free or open software, because sometimes the maintainer just says, yeah, thanks, but I can't keep this up. I got family, or worse, some people have accidents. And yeah, but it's this one repository that's essentially everyone built their software on top of, and now it's not maintained anymore and someone else picks it up, and it's this huge, suddenly unnecessary mess of just question marks of who is using which version and what do you need to build something. And it's... There was this one GDC talk on how to archive your game, and the best case scenario was, or how they would, the archivists would want it to happen, is that once you finish making a game, you put the PC with everything, all the programs that it had on it, you put it into a box with the game, with all the tools that you needed to build the game. Then you could take it out of the box and build it with all those things that are running on that machine. But now, thanks to subscription models, if it's not online, it probably won't even boot anymore, right? And even if the company is long defunct now, in, I don't know, X years in the future, the software will refuse to boot because it can't phone home to its mummy server anymore. So yeah, what can you do? You save in open intermediate formats if you're so inclined, and yeah, and eat up all the overhead that this causes as well. So yeah, I don't know whether I have a solution for this, frankly. Lady Misleaf says, okay, it makes sense that you like Adobe so much if you use it at work. Yeah, I mean, it's always good, of course, if you know the programs that you use at work, how they behave also in a non-work environment. I did just on Friday, that's the word, on Friday. I just opened up a huge After Effects script file that I read to handle subtitle files and also to error correct subtitle files on the go and so on. So yeah, it's always good to know how those things are working on, even if it's just for work. But I like to use them, like I said, privately, because this is how I learned editing. It was on Premiere and also Photoshop and so on. So yeah, I'm locked into essentially Photoshop and Adobe products. But I mean, I could it's a hell of my own making. I could always step back and use a different software, right? But Adobe knows that I won't, and here we are. But yeah, with work, it's the good thing is, like I said, I can use it for work, and I can also deduct it on when doing my taxes, because of course it's most of the time I use it for work. Cookie, thanks for feeding the automated unicorn. And Lady Misleaf subs are Disney Plus, Funimation, Zenva, and Sakura Co. Okay, I only know Disney Plus. Please enlighten me what Funimation, Zenva, and Sakura Co are. I also have, and Hubby covers Netflix. Yeah, we got Netflix, Disney Plus, and Amazon Prime, because we want to send more dicks into space. Well, I got Netflix, Crunchyroll, Wacom, and Amazon Prime Video just for my movies and anime. Still can't watch so many shows here in Germany. Yeah, this is the other thing. There were many when this entire thing with streaming came up, and there was Hulu and so many different things, and HBO Live. Thing is, yeah, it only works in the US, and if you don't live in the US, it doesn't work. For the longest of times we didn't have Netflix here, and I was always super envious of people who were able to just stream via Netflix. All I had to do was go to Pirate Bay I'm sorry, and find my films there, not because I wanted to, but there was no other option to get current shows or something. Now finally we got Netflix, but of course they got quite a selection, but still it's limited, and especially with films that just came out or certain series, you really can't watch them. For example, I was looking to stream, what was it? The original US Office. Couldn't find it, couldn't get it anywhere. So yeah, maybe I just have to find other sources of acquisition, if you catch my drift. But again, so the only thing that you could do is use a VPN, but of course use of VPN is also something that, you could get your account terminated for being caught using a VPN, right? So this is not something that you want to risk, especially if you have a library where you also purchased stuff, maybe with even a credit card with a fake US address. All because you want to watch movies legally, essentially. Sony also bought Crunchyroll, and probably going to merge the two. My God, Sony. I mean, it's just a consolidation of the big ones, just getting bigger and bigger and gobbling up the small upstarts, right? And Resolve Fusion sounds interesting. I'll try it. Thank you. Yeah, you're very welcome. And Opapi says, yeah, there's gonna be some development. I was using Blender before I had After Effects. Yeah, Blender, this is also a good thing, but I'm not quite sure. I mean, Blender is super powerful, but also has quite a learning curve. As I've noticed when I tried out Blender and also did try to do some compositing in Blender, I mean, it's amazing what is possible with Blender, but at the same time it's infuriating because it's so unlike everything that I'm used to. And as you know, I have a visual effects, motion picture effects background. I used to do even effects on bigger films, but it's also 10 years back. But the thing is, the software that I got used to, like the Autodesk Flame, Flint, Inferno, and things like that, they are super. It's like a black art. It's super hard to I mean, once you're in the mindset, it's like with Maya, you really have to go to find the mindset to understand how things are working, because they are not working like all the other programs are working, because they can get away with it, because everyone has to use these things because they are industry standard. And if people want to get into the industry, well, tough luck, they have to start to learn how to use these programs. The point being is, once you're in this mindset, it's super hard to adapt to something new, because you have a certain way of how to expect certain things to work. And if they don't work like that, again, we're in the same thing that I said earlier. I don't want to spend so much time to learn something where I'm like 10% as quick and fast I am as I'm right now with something that just takes a little bit longer to get to grips. I hope that this again makes sense what I just said, but yeah. But with Blender, again, you can do super amazing things, but again, it's open, and which means that you get certain things that like it's a two-sided coin. It's a two-sided sword. Completely forgot how the adage goes, but you know what I mean. I mean, if you don't mind throwing away some of your experience that you have when something new comes along, it's cool. But then again, certain workflows or certain things of approaching problems will always stay the same. It's like with programming, right? I mean, a loop, if loop, or if condition, or a loop or a while loop is the same. what only changes is how a certain programming language expects you to format it, for example. So, yeah. Resolve Fusion. I was using Blender before After Effects. Frank says the only software I have a subscription for is GeoGuessr. Oh, this is really nice. They offer subscriptions, but it was a heavy workarounding, says Fernofy. Yeah, probably. Endo Puppy says spent 100 bits to get you out of renting. Do you like the Fat Rat? I have no opinion on the Fat Rat because I don't know who the Fat Rat is or how fat the rat in fact is. I'm really sorry, I don't know. Funimation anime streaming service. Ah, okay, that makes sense. And Zenva is coding classes. It's where I learned JavaScript, and they now have Godot courses. Oh, interesting. I have 2 courses on Masterclass, or 3 courses on Masterclass, and out of spite I didn't buy the subscription. I bought the individual courses back then. Many years back I installed Blender on a USB key so I could sneak some 3D dev at work without installing it on a work computer. Ooh, that's sneaky! I remember when I first got Blender and I installed it, and it BSOD'd my computer twice. And I thought, yep, that's open source software for me, thank you, I've had my fair share. And then years later, like 2 years ago or so, I tried it again and I thought, oh my god, you could really do cool stuff with it. And there is of course this one guy everyone knows in the Blender community because he does super fun talks super fast and does super cool shit with Blender. And I thought, my god, if someone gave him Maya, what could he do with Maya? But yeah, again, this is just my preconceptions talking. And Sakurako, monthly boxes of Japanese snacks make and sent from Japan with a theme in each box. My god, this sounds super fun. It's like Loot Crate, if anyone knows what Loot Crate is, or are they still around, which I thought I had to talk myself out of it, and I think I succeeded. Okay, so this needs to be a bit darker then. And what else have I missed? GeoGuessr used to be free a few years ago, but they need to pay Google alright to use Street View nowadays, so they just can't afford to do it for free. Yeah, in the end, someone said, in the end, no matter what smaller developers or smaller outlets you want to support, in the end it always goes to the big players that are just owning everything. It's like with the ISPs who own the backbone of the internet, right? In the end, even if you have a small ISP, they need to pay to use the infrastructure of someone big, and in the end, even if you don't want to give them their money, somehow it ends up there. It's like paying taxes, and then the company you want least to benefit from your taxes somehow does some tax jiu-jitsu and somehow ends up with getting more tax refunds than you, for example, despite making millions or even billions of money. Yeah, life's unfair. Life's unfair. And Ian Hubert says Fernify. Exactly that one. The one whose name is the same as my grandfather. It's not Ian, it's Hubert. But yeah, that one. Everyone knows him, right? You missed the Sakurako sub. Wonder if you would like that. Maybe I would. Again, I'm not quite sure because, I mean, it's snacks, right? I'm not quite sure if I could eat them all, or if I need to throw some of them away because of certain intolerances and so on. So maybe, yeah, I probably should just have a look and see for myself. But it's a good thing. My god, another subscription. Oh dear. And Opapi says, okay, he makes some music. I just found someone who makes orchestra remixes of his music and I enjoyed his versions. Would it be fine to share a link? I have no idea. Oh, the Fat Rat. Right. Please. Yeah, of course, share a link. Just have to make sure because my wife is probably done with work and she says, yes, she finished. So I have to cut this stream at this point because my wife is at work and it's Sunday, so I have to pick her up from work. And let's just finish with the right. Let's maybe I zoom out here to have a nice ending picture. So yes, thank you so much for sticking with me for my nice birthday stream today. Really appreciate it. It was fun chatting with you and also fun pixeling this little astronaut. And look at this, how far we got. I'm still not happy with the bend of the elbow here in the picture. But yeah, you probably can see how I work when doing my pixel art. And Lady Misliff says, I meant you moved on to the next comment, but then you backtracked. Yeah, I'm scatterbrained all the way, even when it comes to reading comments and chat. Donations are tax deductible. They make a great big donation that is great for PR, and they get a tax deductions from it. So yeah, tax deductions. My God, those things. It's sometimes it feels so really unfair. But I don't want to end on that note. Original version and orchestra remix, says Opapi. So the Fat Rat. Let me open it up quickly. And there we go. Is this? Of course, it's chocolate. It's chocolate advertising. And I don't know how it ends because I always clicked away. Hiding in the Blue, Chapter 1. And there's even some pixel art going on there. Okay, this sounds quite cool. This sounds nice. Oh, lyrics, my God. I don't know how to deal with someone talking over music because I don't really listen to lots of music with lyrics. But this one sounds cool. Thanks for sharing. And Rather Choice says, thanks for streaming, Phil. It was great to see you. Yeah, thank you all for checking out this little stream. And yeah, just sorry for all the long time it took for me to get started today. Thanks for the stream. You're very welcome. And thanks. Yeah, again, you're super welcome. Again, I wish you a great week. Birthday Phil will check out now. Make this a bit quieter then. Again, it's a bit distracting to me, but that's the original version. I love Fat Rat. You need to check out the orchestra version though. Orchestra, symphonic versions of music, if they're well done, they always get me goosebumps. And though Papi spent some 100 bits, yes, I had a nice birthday. Thank you so much. And again, as always, I really appreciate you being part of the stream and watching me just do my little pixely things. So very much appreciated, and I hope you have a great week, and I will see you next Sunday. And I hope I will also find the buy card here on my Stream Deck, because as you know, I'm a super pro. And finally the orchestra version is this one here. Oh, that's nice. It sounds like more like a pop song. Nice. Let's skip ahead. Ah, okay, there we are. Strings, big strings. That's Hollywood. Big strings is Hollywood. Okay, I'm rambling again. My poor wife is waiting. Have a great week. See you next Sunday, and thanks for dropping by.
Floating in the sky, I'm high above the world I used to know, and I'm far from any